Hey, 49ers fans, let's dive right into the latest developments surrounding our San Francisco 49ers as they continue their push in this season. December has arrived, and with it comes a flurry of news about potential moves and roster adjustments that could have a real impact on how the Niners finish the year. One of the stories making waves recently involves veteran offensive guard Lake and Tomlinson, who have been released by the Texans. Now, for San Francisco, this could represent an intriguing opportunity to add depth to an offensive line that has been a bit of a roller coaster this season. While the line has shown improvements over the recent three-game winning streak, injuries have definitely tested the team's flexibility. Most notably, Ben Bartch suffered a Liz Frank injury in the game against Cleveland, potentially sidelining him for the rest of the year and forcing Spencer Burford into a full-time left guard role. This development leaves a noticeable gap in depth, making the possibility of bringing back someone familiar like Tomlinson an appealing proposition. Tomlinson isn't a stranger to San Francisco. He spent several seasons with the Niners from 2017 through 2021 and has familiarity with Kyle Shanahan's system. His previous stints in other organizations, including Detroit, New York, and Houston, were inconsistent, but history shows that certain players thrive when they return to an environment where they've had success before. For San Francisco, the appeal is clear. Tomlinson knows the offensive scheme, can step in immediately, and won't demand a major financial commitment. This is especially important considering the current rotation at left guard, where Spencer Burford is now the primary option and the alternatives haven't inspired confidence. Connor McGovern, for example, had struggles when thrust into starting responsibilities earlier in the season, and relying on him exclusively could be risky. Adding Tomlinson to the mix provides not just depth, but also a veteran presence capable of stabilizing the line during critical playoff-type matchups that lie ahead. Speaking of upcoming challenges, the Niners' schedule following their bye week is loaded with games that have significant playoff implications. They'll face the Tennessee Titans, then the Indianapolis Colts, the Chicago Bears, and finally the Seattle Seahawks. Each of these contests carries a high level of intensity and competitiveness, and the offensive line will need to be at its best to support Brock Purdy in the running game. During the current three-game streak, the offense has shown resilience, with Purdy playing efficiently and key contributors like Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle performing at high levels. Despite some turnovers early in games, the team has managed to maintain scoring consistency and sustain drives when it matters most. The offensive line, even with its challenges, has found ways to support a potent attack that has allowed the young and injury-impacted defense to gradually catch up and contribute meaningfully. Injuries on the defensive side of the ball have been a significant storyline all season, yet the unit has shown remarkable growth under the guidance of defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. Even with stars like Nick Bosa and Fred Warner sidelined at times, the Niners' defense has remained competitive and opportunistic. The leadership in the locker room, combined with the coaching staff's ability to adapt schemes to the available personnel, has helped San Francisco remain a tough out for any opponent. Players stepping into larger roles, such as Keion White and Curtis Robinson, have developed rapidly, and their contributions have been essential in sustaining the team's momentum. This growth has been particularly evident in high-pressure situations during the recent wins, where the defense managed to make critical stops and limit explosive plays despite missing key personnel. On the offensive front, Brock Purdy's performance has been pivotal. Against Arizona, the team racked up 41 points in a dominating display that highlighted both the passing and running games. Purdy was efficient, spreading the ball effectively and connecting with his targets in ways that kept defenses off balance. In the subsequent victory over Carolina on Monday Night Football, he maintained that level of play against a tough opponent with a winning record, demonstrating poise and leadership. Then, facing the Cleveland Browns in challenging weather conditions against a formidable defensive coordinator in Jim Schwartz, Purdy and the offense scored 26 points, showing the team's ability to adapt and overcome adversity. These performances reflect not only his growth as a quarterback, but also the effectiveness of the offensive line in giving him time to make plays, even with the rotation adjustments and injuries. Tomlinson's potential addition becomes even more relevant in this context. The veterans' experience and familiarity with the system could be precisely what the 49ers need to solidify the line during the critical stretch of games. His prior time with San Francisco, including a productive contract year in 2021, proves that he can contribute immediately when called upon. Bringing him back wouldn't just be a depth move. It would provide leadership and reliability for a unit that has seen its fair share of disruptions. For a team aiming to maintain momentum and make a deep playoff run, these incremental improvements along the offensive line could make the difference between a contested game and a dominant performance. The broader picture for San Francisco is also encouraging. The team's ability to maintain consistency during a season marked by injuries, rotation changes, and challenging matchups speaks volumes about the culture Kyle Shanahan has built. From coaching adaptability to locker room leadership, the Niners have found ways to keep their performance at a high level despite the obstacles. This is reflected in their efficiency metrics, where they rank impressively in key areas like third down conversions and success rates, demonstrating that the offense can sustain drives and convert under pressure. It's not just about scoring. It's about maintaining a rhythm and keeping the defense rested, and the offense has shown it could deliver in both respects. Meanwhile, the NFC playoff picture adds further stakes to each upcoming game. The 49ers, along with other hot teams like the Dallas Cowboys, have positioned themselves as squads nobody wants to face in a high-stakes matchup. While some higher-seeded teams have stumbled, San Francisco's consistency and opportunism have kept them in contention, and their recent streak has only reinforced their credibility as a tough out. Steve Young himself has highlighted the challenge this team presents, emphasizing that even without all their defensive stars, the Niners remain highly dangerous due to coaching, preparation, and the collective effort of the players on both sides of the ball. It's not just talent. It's execution and cohesion that make them a formidable opponent. Adding a player like Tomlinson fits neatly into this narrative. He represents an immediate upgrade to depth and experience, providing insurance for the offensive line and allowing the team to maintain the level of play needed for the upcoming stretch of games. With Brock Purdy operating efficiently, Christian McCaffrey continuing to be a force in the running game, and George Kittle creating matchup problems for defenses, having stability along the offensive front is crucial. The combination of veteran leadership, strategic rotations, and familiarity with Shanahan's system could help the Niners maximize their potential as they move toward the playoff push. This isn't just about replacing an injured player. It's about enhancing the team's ability to execute at a high level consistently, something that has been a hallmark of their recent success. As we turn the page on San Francisco's season, the focus shifts not just to the offense, but also to the development of the defense and the critical matchups that await after the bye week. Despite missing key players at various points, the 49ers' defense has shown remarkable resilience and adaptability. Robert Saleh has orchestrated a unit that manages to remain competitive and opportunistic, even when star defenders like Nick Bosa and Fred Warner are unavailable. It is the growth of younger and lesser-known players that has been most impressive. Guys like Keion White, Curtis Robinson, and other rotational contributors have stepped up, making plays that have kept the Niners in control during pivotal moments. Their ability to adapt to complex schemes and maintain discipline has been essential in turning what could have been a liability into a strength, and it underscores the culture of preparation and accountability that permeates this team. Looking ahead, the remaining games will serve as a proving ground for the entire roster. Facing Tennessee will test both the offense and defense against a physical and disciplined opponent. The Titans have historically been tough against teams that rely on a dynamic passing attack, so the offensive line will need to hold strong, especially if Brock Purdy is to have the time necessary to create opportunities downfield. Christian McCaffrey's versatility as a runner and receiver will be critical in keeping defenses honest, but it all starts with the line, giving Purdy the space to execute. In these games, every play counts, and small adjustments in technique and alignment could be the difference between sustaining drives or facing repeated third-and-long situations. Following the Titans, the Niners face the Colts, a team that has been resilient on defense and capable of creating turnovers when opponents become predictable. For San Francisco, the ability to maintain consistency in protecting the quarterback, executing the run game, and avoiding penalties will be vital. The interplay between veteran leaders and younger players on the offensive line becomes even more critical in these matchups. With someone like Tomlinson potentially returning, the unit would gain not just depth, but also a stabilizing influence, a familiar presence who can help synchronize communications and reduce mental errors. These elements are subtle, but make a substantial difference in a league where every inch of the line of scrimmage can be contested. The Bears and Seahawks games present a slightly different set of challenges. Both teams have demonstrated the capacity to create turnovers and capitalize on defensive lapses. The Niners' ability to read defensive fronts and adjust protections in real time will be tested, requiring sharp mental processing from the quarterback and coordination along the line. San Francisco's offensive efficiency, particularly in the recent three-game streak, has been impressive, and sustaining that performance under the pressure of playoff-type matchups is a critical measure of their true potential. Brock Purdy's decision-making and ball security will need to be at peak levels, and the trust between him and his offensive line is crucial. Every misstep could shift momentum, so the team's preparation and adaptability are under the microscope more than ever. On the defensive side, Saleh's unit will need to continue their growth trajectory. The improvements over the recent streak, including better tackling, increased pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and more effective coverage in critical situations, have been encouraging. However, sustaining this level of play over the final stretch requires not just skill, but endurance and mental toughness. Each player, from starters to rotational contributors, will have to execute their assignments flawlessly, especially in games where small mistakes can be magnified. The ability to anticipate plays, communicate effectively on the field, and adjust to unconventional offensive schemes will define how far this defense can carry the team in the postseason. Meanwhile, the NFC playoff picture heightens the stakes for San Francisco. With the Dallas Cowboys and other hot teams also vying for position, the 49ers' margin for error is slim. Higher-seeded teams will have to contend with a Niners squad that has proven to be opportunistic and difficult to prepare for, particularly given their ability to maintain cohesion despite personnel changes. Steve Young has repeatedly emphasized the challenge of facing a team that remains dangerous even when missing key contributors, and this assessment rings true as the Niners approach the final stretch. Opponents know they cannot take this team lightly, and the combination of coaching acumen, execution, and culture makes San Francisco a formidable challenge for any playoff contender. Turning back to individual performances, Brock Purdy's efficiency has been a cornerstone of the team's recent success. He has balanced aggressive downfield passing with careful decision-making, helping the offense sustain drives and convert critical situations. Christian McCaffrey's consistent contributions, whether through the ground game or receiving out of the backfield, have kept defenses on their heels. George Kittle continues to demand attention as a matchup nightmare, drawing coverage that opens opportunities elsewhere. All of these factors underscore the importance of a stable and experienced offensive line, particularly as injuries force rotations and younger players are called upon to step up. A veteran like Tomlinson could provide the reassurance needed to maintain the performance level that has propelled the team through recent victories. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling through the NFL like wildfire, and the latest rumor has sent shockwaves across the league. Sources close to the 49ers suggest the team is preparing a blockbuster move that could reshape their defense for years to come. The target? None other than cornerback Patrick Surtain, one of the most coveted young defenders in the league. According to insiders, the 49ers are not planning a modest approach. They're reportedly crafting a mega offer that could make other teams rethink their strategies entirely. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing about what such a move could mean. Surtain, known for his remarkable instincts, physicality, and ability to shut down top receivers, has been a cornerstone for his current team. His combination of youth, athleticism, and football IQ makes him a rare commodity in today's NFL, and a trade to San Francisco would instantly elevate their secondary into elite territory. The very idea has already sparked heated debates across social media platforms, with pundits speculating on the potential package the 49ers might be willing to send in exchange. First-round picks, young talent, multiple draft assets. The possibilities are endless and tantalizing. Meanwhile, inside the 49ers headquarters, sources hint at intense discussions behind closed doors. The organization seems determined to pull off a move that would not only make a statement to the rest of the league, but also secure a player capable of transforming their defensive schemes. Coaches are reportedly evaluating how Surtain could fit alongside their current roster, imagining scenarios where his presence could shift the balance in key matchups. Meanwhile, fans are already envisioning highlight reel interceptions, lockdown coverage, and a formidable backfield pairing that could haunt quarterbacks for seasons to come. Of course, rumors of this magnitude come with a fair share of skepticism. Trades involving elite talent like Surtain are notoriously complex, often involving delicate negotiations, cap considerations, and timing that can make or break deals. Yet, the mere suggestion that the 49ers are considering such a bold move has reignited a sense of anticipation in a city hungry for big headlines and championship aspirations. Even casual observers can't help but speculate. Could this be the spark that propels the team into a new era of dominance? Or is it simply an audacious trial balloon meant to test the waters? As the chatter grows louder, one thing is certain. The NFL rumor mill is alive and thriving, and the 49ers might just be at the center of the next seismic shift in the league. Patrick Surtain to San Francisco remains unconfirmed, but the buzz alone has fans and analysts alike holding their breath, imagining the possibilities if this blockbuster were to materialize. Stay tuned, because if the whispers prove true, the 49ers' defensive future could be about to get a whole lot brighter. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.